Hello people, so today we'll be solving LeetCode DailyQuestion, that is 2191, sort the jumbled numbers, and in this we'll be given a 0 and next integer array mapping which represents the mapping rule of the shuffled decimal system, where mapping I is equal to j means digit I should be mapped to the digit j in the system, and the mapped value of an integer is the new integer obtained by replacing each occurrence of digit I in the integer with mapping I for all 0 less than or equal to I, which is less than or equal to 9. And we'll be also given another integer array nums, and we have to return the array nums sorted in non-decreasing order based on the mapped values of its elements. And if the elements two elements have the same mapped value, they should appear in the same relative order as in the input, and the elements of nums should be only be sorted based on their mapped values and not to be replaced by them. Okay, for example, we are giving this nums array. Let me just copy it and I'll give you a quick what's the question is saying. Okay, so we are given this particular array which is 991. So if we'll form the if we'll map each of its digit to the mapping, so what we'll be getting is we'll go to the mapping 9 which is 6, then we'll again go to the mapping of 9 which is 6, then we'll go to the mapping of 1 that is 9. Okay, so 991 gets converted to this, then similarly we do it for 338. So 338 basically means we'll go to the index number 3 that is 0. Again we'll go to the index number 3 that is 0, and then we'll go to the index number 8 that is 7. So we are having 338 to be converted as 007, and for 38 it will be 07. Okay, now further when we'll solve this array in non-decreasing, basically increasing order, so we'll be having, let's keep it 7 only, 7 7 and 669. Okay, but now here you can see that two elements are having the same mapped values, you can say. Okay, 7 and 7, so we need to sort them on the basis of in the relative order. Basically means which element occurred first. So 338 occurred first, so our output will be like 338, then it will be 38, and then it will be 9 and 1. Okay, 9 and 1, yeah. So this array gets transformed to this array, and we have to return this one particular array. Yeah, as you can see that this is the output, and this is just the explanation that I have already given. You can read it for your own references as well. Okay, so for this, firstly let's have a class tuple, and let's have three parameters which will be num, the mapped value, or let's call it just map, and the index. Now let's have a tuple, uh, and let's initialize its constructor int num, int map, and int index. Okay, and now let's I'll just, okay, if I, yeah, it gets in a single line. So this dot num that is equal to num. Then what I'll do is I'll just do a okay, this dot map is equal to a map, and I forgot the semicolons. Yeah, and this dot index is equal to index. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll also have a map of integers, so that just to keep a track that if I am having a 338 again, so I'll not have to calculate the whole map of it again. I'll just use it from the pre calculated only. Okay, so let's have a map of integer comma integer, uh, let's call it a mapped numbers, that is equal to new hash map. And before that, what I'll do is I'll just okay, I'll basically have a mapping array globally as well, and I'll initialize this global mapping as this dot mapping equal to mapping. Okay, now what I'll be doing is I'll be basically using a priority queue, and along with the custom comparator for it. So I'll be using a queue of tuple, let's call it custom sort, that is equal to new priority queue, with the custom sort of, if I'm having two elements A and B, what I'll be doing is I'll be checking that if A dot map is equal to B dot map, on that case I'll have to sort it on the basis of indexes. So A return A dot ind minus B dot ind, else what I'll have to do is I'll basically do return A dot map minus B dot map. Okay, and a semicolon here as well. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be having traversing in the nums, and I'll be updating the custom sort as well. So for int I equal to 0, I less than nums dot length I plus plus, and let's have the current number, which is num, that is equal to nums I. So firstly we'll be checking that if mapped numbers dot contains key, okay, which is num. In that case what I'll be doing is I'll be adding it to the custom sort dot add, custom sort dot add a new tuple from which will be having my number, and mapped numbers dot get its mapped value, get num along with the index. Okay, and now let's firstly I'll just add this case that if my num is equal to 0, I'll directly add it into the tuple with custom sort dot add a new tuple with num, you can even hard code it as well, mapping 0 along with I. Okay, and just a second, yeah, along with the I, else okay, and let's just add a continue here. Wait. Else what I'll have to do is I'll have to calculate the map, or let's say we have to calculate the hash or the map for the number. What I'll be doing is I'll be calculating, I'll be calling it hash, that is will be find mapping of that particular number. I'll be writing this function very soon. And for custom sort dot add a new tuple with the number, its hash value along with the index, and I'll be also pushing this hash onto the map, which is mapped numbers dot put my number along with the hash. Okay, and firstly let's just quickly write this function, that is private int find mapping of, and the parameters are integer number. Okay, now for this we know that we'll have to traverse it from the front side, so I'll be using a new, not a new approach, but it's like a new thing. Like I'll be using a place instead. I'll not be using some class string builder to reverse the number basically, because if you'll do it in a standard way, like you'll just pick the last number and then do it uh, like we do it for finding a palindrome, you'll have to again reverse the number, so that will be a costly operation. So instead we'll be doing it just one for loop. So let's have firstly a hash that is equal to 0, and the place, basically the uh, decimal system, which is ones, tens, hundreds, and that, like that. Okay, so place is initially my ones. So then while my num is not equal to 0, what I'll be doing is I'll be updating my hash will be equal to my place, or not my place, into mapping of num mod 10, sorry for that, and let's just add a plus equal to here. Yeah, hash will be updated by this, and I'll be updating my place by 10, and I'll be decreasing my number by 10, not decreasing, basically dividing my number by 10, and at the end I'll return the hash. Okay, now after this for loop, we'll be having to create the answer array, int answer, that is equal to a new int of size nums dot length. Then I'll be having a pointer to this answer array, that will be in, let's call it int, that is equal to 0. I wish I haven't, oh yeah, that's for the, let's do it idx instead. And now my while not custom sort dot is empty, what I'll be doing is I'll be updating my answer of idx plus plus, that will be equal to my custom sort dot poll and its number, and at the end I'll return the answer array. And now let's give it a run. Okay, it's taking. Oh, map numbers. What's map numbers? Okay, now let's give it a run. Just a typo. Oh yeah, and it gets accepted. Now let's submit it. And it works probably fine, just a little bit slow. Earlier it was like, it's that depends on the servers of the LeetCode. Okay, so just for it for today. Thank you for watching.